Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Carl from Sovereign Citizen Chronicles. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Today, we're going to be back in the courtroom of Judge Sean Perkins out of the 36th District of Michigan. All right, so let me explain something. Yesterday, I posted the last proceeding of Christopher Gray. All right, and then some, a few months back, I had posted a proceeding for before that. So I didn't realize there was another proceeding even before those two proceedings. So I've covered two proceedings, his last proceeding and the one before that, but I never covered his first one. So I'm covering it now. So if anybody's seen, Christopher Gray uh, a while back, then this is it. You might, want to click off. And I'm just saying that so don't nobody feel like I'm tricking them or whatever. All right. So it is an older video, but to me, it's really good. It's entertaining. Judge Perkins is doing this thing. He's kind of being compassionate and strict at the same time. And it's always funny with Judge Perkins when he's dealing with sovereign citizens. All right. So on that note, and let me say this: like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel. And if you're new, I hope you subscribe once you check out this video. All right. With that being said, let's get to this proceeding.
Where is Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray is here.
You got a long way to go on your license too, don't you?
Yes.
Let's see here. Fishing without a license? What's your date of birth, sir?
7/11/72.
That's not you. All right, let's see.
What you say?
7/11/72.
Oh, I got them right here.
Let's see. All right, let's call the cases. This is the City of Detroit versus Christopher Lamar Gray, case number SP11. Strike that, SP1191985, counts 1 and counts 2. SP125733, counts 1, 2, and 3. We'll also call case number 13-466-1711. We have case number SP126785, counts 1, 2, and 3. We have SP126787, counts 1, 2, and 3. And this one's in warrant status from way back in 0852085441. Appearance for the record, please.
William Glenn on behalf of Mr. Gray, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gray, are you trying to get a driver's license?
Your Honor, I'm here by special appearance.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Go ahead.
I don't understand the nature of the case that's here in front of me. I don't understand.
So you don't understand the nature of the cases here in front of you. You don't understand that you got to have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle on the roads of the state of Michigan. You don't understand any of that stuff.
Your Honor, I don't understand the jurisdiction. I don't understand how I wound up here. I fail to understand.
Well, I'll tell you how you wound up here. Well, I can probably, I got a similar case, and this gentleman provided me with a motion the other day, and I'm reading the motion, and I'm reading the case law that he says is supporting the fact that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, that the state can't make you have a driver's license, and things like that. And when you read the case law that he gives me, and it's probably going to be, if you did your own motion, it'd probably be the same case law that you would try to cite. It says exactly the opposite of what he is trying to purport.
Okay, so what is the
So
jurisdiction of the
what-
court, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
What is the jurisdiction of the court, Your Honor?
You gotta have a license. You know, if you're saying that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, are you trying to say basic? Let's just talk a little real simple, basic stuff. Are you trying to say that you can just run red lights, you can just speed, you can just do what you want to do on the roads without any repercussions at all?
Your Honor, is this a court of record? I'm sorry, is this a court of record?
As far as I checked, it was, Mr. Glenn.
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, so you guys follow a common law.
We follow the state, we follow the statute of the state. We follow the statute of the state of Michigan.
You follow a common law, Your Honor.
The 14th Amendment gives the state the right to enforce the police powers of the state. The right of that is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. Part of that right comes, part of that constitutional right says that the state has the authority to regulate the people that are driving on the roads of the state of Michigan, and to say that to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens.
The Sixth Amendment allows me to know the nature of what I'm being charged with. And that's
I'm gonna tell you. SP 1267-8653, failure to display a valid operator's license, punishment.
Your Honor, I'm challenging the jurisdiction, Your Honor. I'm challenging.
Go ahead.
I'm challenging this jurisdiction, Your Honor. I don't understand the nature of the charges.
All right, well, we won't take up too much time with this.
I request a jury trial, Your Honor.
Yeah, all right. What I was gonna do is, all right, so for the jury trial, we have to set a final pretrial, right? We'll set a final pretrial date. We'll have the final pretrial date on May the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Final pretrial, and then can we get a jury trial date, Ms. Nash? I was going to give you an opportunity. Well, put it this way:
And for the record, Your Honor, please have the prosecutor put jurisdiction on the record for, if you could, Your Honor. Just let me know so that since we're in court of record.
Well, if I have a signed complaint here, which I have a signed complaint, then that automatically puts the jurisdiction on the record.
All right, I didn't get a copy of that, and if you have a copy, I'm going to need that to be signed on penalty of perjury, Your Honor. If it's an accusation against you, I'm going to need that.
All right, give me an email address, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Detroit City Services.
Is that Detroit spelled out?
Yes, sir. cityservices@gmail.com.
Email these tickets to this young man. I can't call him. He's a little older than I am.
And yeah, I would just, if one of the things I request is, if I could just get that accusation with sworn penalty of perjury, that would be great. That's
He got it. We'll give it to him again.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna give it to him again. Something, and don't get me wrong. I respect the fact that you have that you want to fight this, but I would say from my experience, you're going about it all the wrong way. And I just ask you that basic question, you don't think that the police or that the state or that the ordinances have a right to stop people from speeding and running traffic stops? Because basically, with your logic that you're trying to purport, then nobody can get stopped for anything.
Your Honor, no one was hurt. There is no injured party, Your Honor. And so upon my look of the law, and this is a court of record, and no one was hurt. And so we're following the common law. I understand that a lot of people don't understand how to function here, but since I do, well, then I want to exercise this right.
I don't understand this, sir. All right, we'll let you.
And the name and address of the prosecutor, Your Honor, please. Thank you.
All right.
And I appreciate Your Honor. I appreciate your patience with me this afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm here for, sir. This got mixed up. This is yours.
Can I file my pleadings with your clerk?
Pardon me?
Can I file my pleadings with your clerk of court? Your clerk of court.
You gotta file the pleadings as the court rules say you're supposed to file the pleadings. Now, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it like the court rules say. And you gotta go, the court rules are all online on how you file the pleadings. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
You gotta serve one to the city attorney. You can serve the other one on the court through my clerk and the email address that she's gonna send you when she sends you those tickets. But if we're gonna play ball, sir, you're gonna have to know the rules of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So I'm gonna give you until what did I say? Final pretrial is May the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. I'm gonna give you a jury trial on July the 5th, 2022 at 9 a.m. And I'm gonna give you until I would say the end of the day, April 29th. I mean, strike that, April 22nd, to have any motion that you have in that you want to be heard, because you're going to give me your motion. You're going to give me your motion on how the court has no jurisdiction over you. You're going to give me your motion on how the how all of this stuff, right? And have that in by the end of the day on April.
Your Honor, what I don't think that is my job to prove jurisdiction.
It is your job. It is your job.
It's the assertor's job to prove that whoever's asserting the claim, it's their job, Your Honor.
No, it's your job, sir. If you're saying that the court has no jurisdiction over you.
No. What I'm saying is that the court has to prove jurisdiction. That's what I'm saying. That's different. So, and what I'm saying is that the court needs to prove jurisdiction. Whoever asserted the claim has to prove the jurisdiction.
Mr. Goss, are you on the line?
Yeah, it's amazing this argument keeps coming up. I mean, this is an older video, but it's just, I just want to, say that it's just funny to me how people say you have no jurisdiction or you need to prove jurisdiction. And to me, I would ask the sovereign citizen, well, it seems like they have proven jurisdiction because you showed up for the proceeding. If somebody had no type of power over me and they're like, yo, be on this Zoom or be at this building or do this or do that, I'm gonna be like, no, why? You have no power over me. But obviously, deep down, he knows they do. But they're sovereign citizens. They like try to see if it's gonna work, see if they can, like what judge it just might work on. And maybe he doesn't watch YouTube and don't realize, this whole jurisdiction ain't gonna work on like a Judge Perkins or a Simpson or Judge Oakley or somebody like that. It might work on, I've seen some judges where, they kind of fold a little bit and start trying to explain and all that stuff. But I know somebody's gonna tear me a new one for interrupting this. But let's get back to it.
He's gonna say that you have to prove jurisdiction.
And the jurisdiction is codified in the state of Michigan. So if he's arguing otherwise, that's his beliefs. And At trial, I will be stating the facts of the complaint, and there's it's his assertions does not mean that they're correct, Your Honor.
Right.
Do I have the right to know the charges that are waged against me?
The judge already gave you the charges.
The charges that are waged against you. This is an arraignment. Let's go through that right now. Let's go through that right now so we don't get this, so we don't hear this issue.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that right now.
And you set a schedule, a discovery schedule, sir?
I'm setting that now. Your motion is due April the 22nd, 2022 by the end of the day. The response, if they choose to respond, April 29th, 2022 by the end of the day. And then I'll make a ruling on those motions on the final pretrial, May the 3rd. Nothing will be able to be, the court is not going to accept any other documents after those motion dates are in. And then we'll have a jury trial July the 5th, 2022. Today is the date and time set for arraignment on the warrants and complaint. You are being charged with on SP 11919-851, driving while license suspended on or about my birthday, 10/2/2021, and that's a possible punishment of 93 days. The maximum possible punishment for that offense is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. On the same day, you were charged with no insurance misdemeanor. Maximum possible punishment, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. On the same day, and around the same time, you were charged with.
Yeah, I think they were the same. These were all issued by the same employee at the same time.
Yeah, defective or improper turn signal. So you don't feel that you have to have a right turn, a good turn signal on your car either. That's a civil infraction, and that's a fine of up to $120. Defective brake lights. He doesn't feel you have to have defective brake lights. The police can't pull him over for defective brakes. I don't even have to go through these. These are civil infractions. Let's go to the misdemeanors.
There's no. These are all criminal. I mean, these are civil. Yes, Your Honor. No criminal charges.
These are criminal. I'm going through the criminal. I'm not going to even go through the civil infractions.
Somebody got hurt.
On or about 10/26/2021, in the city of Detroit, in the area of Mount Elliott and East McNichols, you are operating a vehicle. The allegation is you are operating a vehicle with no plates on your trailer. That's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. On the same date and time, you were issued a ticket for failure to display a valid operator's license, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. And on 2/9,
any of those? Were any of those tickets signed, Your Honor?
On September 4th, 2008, around 2:15 in the city of Detroit, you were stopped in the area of Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks for driving while licensed and not valid or improper. That's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and that is in warrant status. Mr. Glenn, can you put your appearance on the record now, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. William Glenn, House Counsel on behalf of Mr. Gray, or standby attorney on behalf of Mr. Gray.
All right. What about the warrants, sir? What are we going to do with that?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court set aside the warrants.
All right. The court will set aside the warrants. The court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, and the court will issue a $0 personal.
Your Honor, I object. Your Honor, I object.
For what?
I don't have enough information to enter a plea, and that's one of my abilities is for me to know and me to understand and be able to make an informed plea. and I
We
need more
stand
information.
mute, Your Honor.
Plea for me, and I don't understand. So right now, I object, Your Honor.
Okay, my client stands mute to the charges. That means he doesn't say guilty or not guilty.
All right, well,
And I'll plead innocent. Then I'll plead innocent.
well, that's what we just said. We enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, sir. All right, so we'll do that. You got the dates. You got properly arraigned. Are you satisfied, counselor?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you got properly arraigned. You got the date, sir. Good luck to you. I'll see you back on May the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30. Again, you got to figure out what's going on with this.
I'll be pro per, Your Honor.
All right. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. Have a great one. Thanks again, Your Honor.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So not a lot of commentary to this. You know, Christopher Gray, you know, he tried the jurisdiction stuff. Judge Perkins shut it down. He's going to be back in court next month, June 23rd, for a pretrial hearing. And then his jury trial is going to be on the 24th. Now, sometimes the jury trials don't, you know, Judge Perkins don't put them up live. So I can't guarantee I'll get you that. But I'll definitely be getting the pretrial, which will be on the Zoom. All right. So on that note, I just want to thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos. All right. But definitely smash that thumbs up. It really helps me get seen in the algorithm and gets those views coming in, and it really supports the channel. All right. Also, I'm going to have links to his 2 proceedings with Judge Perkins that came after this video. And I will also have one right here. All right. So I'll catch you on the next video. God bless. Peace.